Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the early slate, the MLB early slate on DraftKings for Wednesday, May the 8th. There's a 4-game early slate today. I do plan on playing it, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a video for the early slate. Just like always, we're going to go through pitcher and talk about some of the pitchers that I like on this 4-gamer. We'll work our way through the pitcher player pool, and then I will give my 5 plays for DraftKings, 5 plays for Yahoo, 2 pitchers I like, and then 3 hitters that I'll be targeting. Then towards the end of the video, we will talk about some stacks that I'll be going to, and then we'll look at some Bvp plays as well for those of you interested in Bvp. Just before we do get started though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Starting off at the top of the pitcher player pool, Charlie Morton is our most expensive option, $10,100 on DraftKings. It's hard to not like Morton here. He's the most expensive pitcher on the slate. I would say he's in the best spot out of all the pitchers going. Pitching at home against the Diamondbacks team that does have plenty of strikeouts in its lineup and also has the lowest implied run total on the slate at 3.4 runs. Morton's been pitching very well lately. It's a good pitcher's park as well. Pitching at home in Tampa Bay, one of the more friendly pitcher's parks in the game. I think Morton's in a really good spot here. I do like paying up for him on this slate. My next favorite guy to go to would probably be Robby Ray for $1,000 less. I think Robby Ray does have some upside here against Tampa Bay. Might be a bit risky because when Robby Ray's like off his game, this dude walks a ton of batters. He just goes deep into counts. Like you'll pull up the box score and he'll be at 100 pitches through 4 innings because he struggles with his command sometimes. But when Robby Ray is on, he can really rack up strikeouts, and there are some Ks in this Rays lineup. So at 9,100 for $1,000 less in tournaments, I think Robby Ray as a pivot away from Charlie Morton makes a lot of sense. In cash games, I think you just want to pay up for Morton today. If you're playing cash games, Morton is the clear number one stud option to pay up for. Then at SP2, I think there's a clear option here as well. Brenden Woodruff I like a lot at 7,700 at home against the Nationals. Woodruff, another pitcher that's just in a really favorable spot. We look at this Nationals lineup and their implied run total, second lowest on the slate behind the Diamondbacks with a 3.9 implied run total. Really bad Nationals lineup as well. Just missing a lot of key players. No Juan Soto. They did get Anthony Rendon back, but this is still a pretty bad Nats lineup. A lot of righties in here as well, so Woodruff's not going to have to face a ton of lefties. Only lefties in the projected lineup are Eaton and Wilmer Defoe, and those two guys are not really worried about. So I think Brenden Woodruff is in a very good spot here. Also, we like to see that he is a minus 181 favorite, 5.3 implied run total for the Brewers. Woodruff should be able to get some run support and should be able to get a win as well. And he has been pitching very well lately. Last 2 games he's pitched have both been against the Mets. 6 and 7 strikeouts in that game, 5 innings in both outings. I think we could see Woodruff go 5 to 6 innings and get about 6-7 strikeouts again. Would not be surprised at all if he scores 20-plus DraftKings points again. So I like going Morton Woodruff for pitcher today. I think this is going to be the pitching combo that I use the most on the slate. I'll be mixing in a little bit of Robby Ray. Don't think I'm going to be playing much Jack Flaherty. I might throw a little bit of Eichhoff in there, but he's not going to be a guy that I use a ton of. Nick Kingham I would have some interest in because he's pitching at home against the Rangers. Getting the Rangers on the road is a favorable spot for Nick Kingham. This Rangers team does struggle on the road, and it is a good pitcher's park. But Kingham has been very bad this year. He's pitched in relief pretty much all year. He's not really been that good. It's going to be interesting to see how stretched out he is. If he's able to go 80, 90 pitches, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. This will be the first time that he's going to be starting this year. So it's interesting to see if he's fully stretched out. If he is, at 7,300, he could be a play. Jeremy Hellickson, Shelby Miller, 2 guys I don't have any interest in. The Brewers and Pirates are actually my 2 favorite stacks on this early slate, so don't see myself going there. I think Morton, Woodruff, Ray, Eichhoff, Kingham are the pitchers I would be looking to. Jack Flaherty, really good pitcher, but tough spot against the Phillies. I would just rather play Morton or save the money and go down to Robby Ray. So that's it for pitcher. Let's talk about some bats now. We'll look at 3 hitters that I really like on this early slate. So we'll start off at second base. I really like the Pirates here versus Shelby Miller, and I think Adam Frazier leading off at 3,900 is a very good value play here. Pirates do have the second highest implied run total on the slate. As I'm recording this video, a 4.9 implied run total versus Miller. a lot of Pirates as well in a good spot here. Specifically the top four, Frazier, Marte, Polanco, and Bell. That's going to be a stack that I use quite a bit on this early slate. Frazier makes it pretty easy to stack those four guys because he's so cheap. Gregory Polanco is very cheap at 4,100. And even though Marte and Bell are pretty expensive, with how cheap Frazier and Polanco are, you can still fit that four-man stack in pretty easily. So I like Adam Frazier a lot here. And then I mentioned Gregory Polanco. Really like Polanco batting third for 4,100. He just seems way too cheap for this matchup with Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller is just a bad pitcher. He's not going to get a ton of strikeouts. Just not that good of a pitcher overall. Polanco does have a ton of power versus righties, especially a righty in Shelby Miller who is going to pitch to contact. I know Miller pitched against the Pirates at home in his last start. Didn't do that well. Gave up 4 runs through 3 1/3 inning. Pretty bad. I think he started off pretty well, but then just kind of all went downhill after that. I really like going back to the Pirates here. I think I stacked them up quite a bit last time they faced Shelby Miller. I'll be doing the same thing. Frazier and Polanco, 2 guys that I really like from that team. Then the other stack that I like on this early slate is the Brewers. I think the Brewers are in a really good spot at home in Miller Park versus Jeremy Hellickson. And Travis Shaw really stands out to me at third base. He's only 3,100, which is just absolutely insane. Travis Shaw should not be this cheap, especially in a matchup with Jeremy Hellickson, a pitcher that's not going to get really any strikeouts. Is going to pitch to contact. And although Shaw's been a pretty bad hitter this year, only batting 174 on the year, has not shown much power, he's still in too good of a spot to avoid, especially when you factor in his DraftKings price of just 3,100. If he was like 4,500, I probably would be looking elsewhere today. But since he's so cheap, and because I like the Brewers so much as a stack, getting Travis Shaw in there just makes so much sense. Like, you could go with a 4-man Pirate stack and a 4-man Brewer stack easily and still get in pretty decent pitching. So I love Shaw today, love Frazier, love Polanco. Those are 3 hitters I'm definitely going to be pretty high on this early slate. But now let's talk about some stacks I'll be going to. So I mentioned my 2 favorite stacks, the Pirates and the Brewers. Those are the 2 teams I'm going to be looking at the most. And then I think some Cardinals versus Jared Eichhoff. Even though I might have a little bit of Eichhoff, I still don't mind stacking the Cardinals. I don't think I'm going to be going to Phillies bats. Don't see myself playing hitters in this Tampa Bay D-backs game. I think I actually like both pitchers quite a bit in that game. Don't want to play bats versus Woodruff. I really like Woodruff here. Don't think I'm going to be going to many Rangers bats versus Kingham. I might actually play a decent amount of Kingham if he's going to be fully stretched out. Really, the 2 teams I'm going to be heavy on the early slate are the Pirates and the Brewers. I expect to be stacking them up quite a bit. But I think that is it for stacks, guys. Let's talk about some BVP plays before we end the video. So we actually do have a couple BVP plays for this 4-game early slate. So Starling Marte has gone 8 for 20 off of Shelby Miller. Christian Yelich 9 for 26 with a home run off Jeremy Hellickson. Lorenzo Cain 5 for 14 off of Jeremy Hellickson, and Ryan Braun 5 for 14 with the home run off of Hellickson. And also Marcell Ozuna has gone 5 for 13 with the home run off of Jared Eichhoff. So those are some BVP plays that I have for this early slate. I think that is it for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, make sure you click that like button down below. Before you get out of here, I would really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I do upload videos for the early slate for MLB. I upload videos for the main slate. Also, I'm making NBA videos till the season is over, till the playoffs is over. So I'm going to have a ton of content coming out for you guys. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My Twitter account is down in the description below. Feel free to follow me there. Message me if you have any questions. Or you can always leave comments down below in the comment section. Always replying to your guys' comments as well if you have any. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Good luck on the early slate, and we will see you in the next one.